Hey everybody, it's Matthew Seville here with SLRlounge.com, and this video is one that I'm actually very excited about. It is our review of the new Tokina 14 to 20 millimeter f2.0. Now, right out of the box, this is quite a hefty lens. Tokina did not cut any corners optically with this thing, and they did not disappoint. I will spoil it right now for you. Optically, it is very sharp, and the other things along the lines of distortion, vignetting, flare, aberration, sun stars, all of those things are pretty awesome. However, it's a $900 lens, so it had better be pretty awesome if you're going to buy it. It's also made for crop sensor DSLRs. So if you're still thinking, that sounds awesome, but why should I buy it? I don't necessarily blame you. I mean, for $900, you could get one of the f1.4 full-frame primes in this range, or you could get one of the zooms that are already out that are also faster than f2.8, and you could even have some money left over compared to this lens. So let's talk about what you shoot as a photographer and why you might consider a 14 to 20 millimeter f2.0 lens. First of all, I know that some folks are probably thinking about full frame and how it's some sort of holy grail, and once you upgrade, you're never going to go back to a crop censored system. Now, I feel like this is a little bit shallow, or at least short-sighted, because in the real world of photography, it's just not the case. And I have photographed almost everything from portraits and weddings to landscapes, wildlife, nightscapes. In pretty much everything that I have done, I have needed more than one camera. And increasingly, actually lately, one of those or more of those cameras has been a crop sensor camera. I would love to have a lens like this in my bag, even though I do already own a full frame camera for many of the things that I do. Either way, you might be in the market for a wide angle zoom like this, whether it is your primary camera or your secondary camera. Now, why would you buy this particular lens instead of one of the alternatives out there? And I'll be honest, it is definitely a specialty item. If you don't need f2.0, and if you don't need it at that particular aperture, there's a handful of other options. Actually, Tokina makes the better other options. There's the 11 to 20 2.8 Tokina, and there's also a 12 to 28 f4 Tokina. Both of those are very versatile options that if you're shooting traditional landscapes or whatever, more daytime stuff, those make great choices. So why would you choose f2.0 and 14 to 20 millimeters? There's a handful of things that I can think of, such as low light photojournalism or nightscapes, that really require this particular specialized lens. And in that regard, I gotta be honest, if you need a zoom that hits this range and is faster than 2.8, this lens does beat its competition. Tokina has had a long-standing history of making amazing wide-angle zoom lenses, and the 14 to 20 2.0 is no exception. It's amazingly sharp, like I said. It's very well built. If I could come up with one complaint, it would be that this has been my pet peeve with Tokina for a while, and I know it's a personal preference, is the zoom, the push-pull clutch mechanism on the zoom to get from manual focus to autofocus. I'm not that big of a fan, but I know some people love it. The only other thing that comes to mind as a pet peeve is something that I have been holding against all of the third-party lens makers lately, and that is I did have to dial in a little bit of focus micro adjustment to get the autofocus spot on, but once I did that, it was very consistent and reliable. And like I said, that's something that all the other third-party lens makers and Canon and Nikon have not been doing too well at lately. Almost all lenses need focus micro adjustment, I've found. All in all, though, folks, Tokina has delivered another winner. If you need this specialty range, I definitely highly recommend the 14 to 20 2.0 DX. So that's about all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in our next video.